Oh gosh, what a week that was. And it's time to take a look at the social media trends for the past week. And we're now joined by our social media analyst, Lebo Tshangela. Lebo, a very good evening to you. Welcome to The Full View. It's been a very hectic week in the social fronts, in the political, circles as well, as we've seen former President Jacob Zuma, he's supposedly now going back to prison because the North Gauteng High Court has set aside the decision to grant him medical parole by the correctional services. And so many people are now saying that this is actually becoming more personal and former President Jacob Zuma is now being victimized.
Yes, a lot of his fans on social media were actually saying that people like Eugene de Kock, they're on parole, but they're not getting opposed. But also, before we get to the tweets, I just want to also mention that hashtag Jacob Zuma has also been one of the biggest hashtags in 2021, whether it's him relating to the Zondo Commission. But then if we can just look at the tweet at hand, King Gumeda says, "We should not humiliate our leaders when they leave the presidency. It's one of the reasons why many of them do not want to leave office. We see no evidence that Zuma is corrupt. President Zuma's contributions for the liberation of South Africa from apartheid is priceless." So we saw a lot of his fans actually going onto Twitter, actually welcoming that ruling for the appeal for President Jacob Zuma. And if we can just get the next tweet on the Jacob Zuma matter. But also shortly after Mr. P says, watching Mr. Zuma's matter argued in court, "I'm convinced that this matter is not necessarily about interpretation of the law, but has every element of racial-based kind of arguments from both parties. I doubt these lawyers would advance such arguments if it was de Klerk." Hashtag Jacob Zuma.
Yeah, it really is, a matter that we really need to look out for. And I spoke to the head of communications for Google Africa, and just looking at the trends throughout the year, and she said that, the name Jacob Zuma is the most famous, the most Googled name on the African continent for the year 2021. So yeah, this is a matter that we really be on the lookout for. And now, Bongani Baloyi is leaving the Democratic Alliance, and so many people are, of course, of the opinion that this is another purge of black leaders within the DA.
Well, we know that his letter of resignation was actually on social media, and he was saying that he left out of his own volition or agency, and that he was not purged. But people on social media do not buy that. They're saying that DA does not have a way of retaining black excellence. Well, some people also started speculating whether he's joining Action SA or whether he's joining the EFF. Like Lesiba says that if Bongani Baloyi did not quit politics, but DA, he's likely to join Action SA in the future.
And now, fame versus clout. We know that Casper Nyovest, has been trending in the past couple of days for having, the boxing prowess. Just take us through that, what fame versus clout, what was all about.
Yes, people are saying that Casper Nyovest is a marketing genius. He's innovative for coming up with this idea for this boxing tournament. And just before, just as Slick Talk went into the ring, people are saying that, a guy wearing a vest, already they lost confidence in him. But Master KG says, but please give it up to Slick Talk for making it into this fight. Many just talked and never acted. We know that Casper challenged people like AKA Prince KB, and her main M says it ended in tears for Slick Talk. All that talk and no action. Hashtag flame versus clout. It was a very exciting match, I must say.
Very, very exciting. And
also Casper, Mr. LMS says that Casper is a marketing genius. He defies the odds. He does exactly what most people are afraid of doing. He's persistent and very consistent. One can take a lot from Casper Nyovest's marketing tactics.
I actually agree that he defies all odds, and he's a marketing maverick, he's a marketing genius. Who would have thought of filling up the Dome? Who would have thought of filling up the FNB Stadium? But Casper Nyovest has, and he almost broke the internet as a result of this fame versus clout. Now, Hlaudi Motsoaleng, still remember him? Well, the former SABC COO, and the court has issued an order that he should pay back the SABC 11.5 million rand that he got as a result of that agreement reached between SABC and MultiChoice. But Hlaudi was like, no, 11.5 million, what are you talking about? He only got 6.7 million according to him. So he says that the court has been misguided, and he's been at the top of the trends as well.
Well, excluding the tax, obviously. Well, people are saying that, come on, he's already eaten the money, just leave him alone. Let's just move on, you know. While other people were actually praising him for his oratory skills, you know. And then we see Buffalo Soldier says, can we as a country take a decision to leave Cloudy alone? He's a straightforward character, guys. Well, somebody on Twitter also said that, I mean, if your employer gives you money, are you just going to reject it? So people are saying that, you know what, let's just leave Cloudy alone.
You know, what was actually funny is that, you know, he spoke to my colleague Desiree on the agenda earlier on, and he said that, you know, the channel that you are on, I started this channel, so you can't be asking me such questions. All right, Lebo, thank you so much for giving us an update on the latest Twitter trends the past week. That does SABC Digital News producer Lebo Tshangela.